शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ सिन्दूरारुणविग्रहां त्रिनयनां माणिक्यमौलिस्फुरतारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखीमापीनवक्षोरुहां पाणिभ्यां मलिपूर्णरत्नचषकं रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् पराम् अम्बिकाम्। ॐ ध्यायेन्नित्यं महेशं रजतगिरिनिभं चारुचन्द्रावतंसं रत्नाकल्पोज्ज्वलाङ्गं परशुमृगवरभीतिहस्तं प्रसन्नं पद्मासीनं समन्तात् स्तुतममरगणैः व्याघ्रकृत्तिं वसानं विश्वाद्यं विश्वबीजं निखिलभयहरं पञ्चवक्त्रं त्रिनेत्रम्। ॐ नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर्गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्।
धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुयुत्सवः मामकाः पाण्डवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत सञ्जय। श्रीभगवानुवाच क्लैब्यं मास्मगमः पार्थ नैतत्त्वय्युपपद्यते क्षुद्रं हृदय दौर्बल्यं त्यक्त्वोत्तिष्ठ परन्तप। अर्जुन उवाच किं तद्ब्रह्म किमध्यात्मं किं कर्म पुरुषोत्तम अधिभूतं च किं प्रोक्तम् अधिदैवं किमुच्यते। श्रीभगवानुवाच अक्षरं ब्रह्म परमं स्वभावोऽध्यात्ममुच्यते भूतभावोद्भवकरो विसर्गः कर्म संज्ञितः। अर्जुन उवाच अधियज्ञः कथं कोत्र देहेऽस्मिन् मधुसूदन प्रयाणकाले च कथं ज्ञेयोऽसि नियतात्मभिः। श्रीभगवानुवाच अधिभूतं क्षरो भावः पुरुषश्चादिदैवतम् अधियज्ञोऽहमेवात्र देहे देहभृतां वर अन्तकाले च मामेव स्मरन्मुक्त्वा कलेवरं यः प्रयाति समद्भावं याति नास्त्यत्र संशयः। यं यं वापि स्मरन् भावं त्यजत्यन्ते कलेवरं तं तमेवैति कौन्तेय सदा तद्भावभावितः अभ्यासयोगयुक्तेन चेतसा नान्यगामिना परमं पुरुषं दिव्यं याति पार्थानुचिन्तयन् प्रयाणकाले मनसाचलेन भक्त्या युक्तो योगबलेन चैव भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणमावेश्य सम्यक् सतं परं पुरुषमुपैति दिव्यम् सर्वद्वाराणि संयम्य मनोहृदि निरुध्य च मूर्ध्याधायात्मनः प्राणम् आस्थितो योगधारणाम् मामुपेत्य पुनर्जन्म दुःखालयमशाश्वतम् नाप्नुवन्ति महात्मानः संसिद्धिं परमां गताः अग्निर्ज्योतिरः शुक्लः षण्मासा उत्तरायणम् तत्र प्रयाता गच्छन्ति ब्रह्मविदो जनाः धूमो रात्रिः तथा कृष्णः षण्मासा दक्षिणायनम् तत्र चान्द्रमसं ज्योतिः योगी प्राप्य निवर्तते शुक्लकृष्णे गतिह्येते जगतः शाश्वते मते एकया यात्यनावृत्तिम् अन्यया वर्तते पुनः नैते श्रुति पार्थ जानन् योगी मुह्यति कश्चन तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु योगयुक्तो भवार्जुन वेदेषु यज्ञेषु तपःसु चैव दानेषु यत्पुण्यफलं प्रदिष्टम् अत्येति तत्सर्वमिदं विदित्वा योगी परं स्थानमुपैति चाद्यम् इदं तु ते गुह्यतमं प्रवक्ष्याम्यनसूयवे ज्ञानं विज्ञानसहितं यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात् राजविद्या राजगुह्यं पवित्रमिदमुत्तमम् प्रवक्ष्यावगमं धर्म्यं सुसुखं कर्तुमव्ययम् अश्रद्दधानाः पुरुषा धर्मस्यास्य परन्तप अप्राप्य मां निवर्तन्ते मृत्युसंसारवर्त्मनि सर्वभूतानि कौन्तेय प्रकृतिं यान्ति मामिकाम् कल्पक्षये पुनस्तानि कल्पादौ विसृजाम्यहम् न च मां तानि कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय उदासीनवदासीनम् असक्तं तेषु कर्मसु अवजानन्ति मां मूढा मानुषीं तनुमाश्रिता परं भावमजानन्तो मम भूतमहेश्वरम् महात्मनस्तु मां पार्थ दैवीं प्रकृतिमाश्रिताः भजन्त्यनन्यमनसो ज्ञात्वा भूतादिमव्ययम् अहं क्रतुरहं यज्ञः स्वधाहमहमौषधम् मन्त्रोऽहमहमेवाज्यम् अहमग्निरहं हुतम् पिताहमस्य जगतो माता धाता पितामहः वेद्यं पवित्रमोङ्कार ऋक्सामयजुरेव च गतिर्भर्ता प्रभुः साक्षी निवासः शरणं सुहृत् प्रभवः प्रलयः स्थानं निधानं बीजमव्ययम् अनन्याश्चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जनाः पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम् येऽप्यन्यदेवता भक्ता यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विताः तेऽपि मामेव कौन्तेय यजन्त्यविधिपूर्वकम् अहं हि सर्वयज्ञानां भोक्ता च प्रभुरेव च न तु मामभिजानन्ति तत्त्वेनातश्च्यवन्ति ते समोऽहं सर्वभूतेषु न मे द्वेषोऽस्ति न प्रियः ये भजन्ति तु मां भक्त्या मयि ते तेषु चाप्यहम् अपि चेत् सुदुराचारो भजते मामनन्यभाक् साधुरेव समन्तव्यः सम्यक् व्यवसितो हि सः क्षिप्रं भवति धर्मात्मा शश्वच्छान्तिं निगच्छति कौन्तेय प्रतिजानीहि न मे भक्तः प्रणश्यति मन्मना भव मद्भक्तो मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामे वैष्यसि युक्त्वैवम् आत्मानं मत्परायणः.
Very nice. Thank you, Rakesh. Okay. So we are finished 42, I believe. Number 11, Adhyay 11.
जी
42, right?
जी 42.
So to recap, Arjuna is apologizing profusely to Sri Krishna for treating him unceremoniously, unaware of his majesty, and thoughtlessly in various situations. Any thoughts on that?
So before that, right, before Bhagavan showed him these majestic, form, he never realized, or he never perceived how magnificent it is, right? So possibly similar with what we are now, because we are distracted by all ups and downs, and probably we haven't conceived how what that feels, because we don't have the taste of that nectar. So maybe some flashes something from the grace, we feel it, and that would be more compelling. Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you, Mahesh. Yes. Any other thoughts?
It makes me wonder. I mean, let alone the presence of Bhagwan himself, any great guru or any Siddha person, if I come into contact with him, will I be able to realize the presence of such an element? Or see
That's
it?
very nicely put too. Yes, indeed. Very right. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you are endowed with devotion and good qualities and respect for the scripture. So naturally, it will keep you in a good way, right? But indeed, the experience is humbling beyond measure. So both what you said, and also like you said, when it is in the presence of that divine in whatever delusion, is also humbling. Right? So very nice. So anyway, Arjuna is in this situation and he's feeling this, and in fact, whenever in our day-to-day life sometimes we feel a great respect or a great sense of devotion, you can know that that is the reflection of the Lord that is causing that. When you feel a genuine movement of devotion in the heart, it is none other than the Lord's work. And you know what I'm saying? There is a way in which the heart is moved, and there is external forms of respect that we show. You know what I'm saying, right? If the presidential motorcade goes, everybody has to show the respect and not run across the street. You won't be allowed to, right? We show respect in different ways, right? But that the respect that comes from the movement of the heart, when the heart of its own is moved and there is a deep feeling of humility, that is the indication of the Lord's work. No one else, right? It's not there is other kinds of respect out of fear, which is that, oh, you know, if I put my feet up on the chair and my professor comes in, maybe he will perceive it as disrespect, you know. That is a respect out of fear, right? In some sense. But the respect that comes from the movement of the heart is different. And that is what Arjuna has experienced right now. His entire worldview has been changed in an instant, like that. And so that is transformative. The power of that is not easy to calculate. That's not like a fellow in a riot gear coming and telling you, step back, and you step back because otherwise he will hit you in the face, right? That is not that respect. They're very different, vastly different, right? This you must understand. We show respect in many ways for other things, but they're not the same thing. Anyway, very special. You will feel it. When you feel it in the heart, that's when it is known. Okay. Yataha tvam. Why now? So you see, the why is in jest I treated you with lack of respect, with scorn. Where? In sport, walking for exercise, resting on a bed, sitting on chairs. In all these activities and places, I scorned you in your absence or presence. Oh, I'm lapsing one. All these offenses I beg you to pardon. You, the infinite, beyond all determination. And yataha. Why? Because. And now Arjuna explains why he felt that. 43, please.
पितासि लोकस्य चराचरस्य त्वमस्य पूज्यश्च गुरुर्गरीयान् न त्वत्समोऽस्त्यभ्यधिकः कुतोऽन्यो लोकत्रयेऽप्य प्रतिमप्रभाव.
Very nice. Beautiful. Very nicely read. So reason, you are the father of the world. Pitasi, lokasya, of the world of beings, you are the father. And not only that, of the chara, achara, that which is moving and the unmoving. Tvam asya, pujyaha, you are worthy of its worship. Gurur Gariyan, and you are its preeminent teacher. Gariyasi is greatest, right? You say, teacher, Guru, Gariyan. Nat tvat samo asti. There is no one equal to you. Abhyadhikaha kuto anyah lokatraye api pratima prabhava. How can there be one greater in all the three worlds? Kuto anya, how can be something else in these three worlds? Lokatraye api apratima, api apratima prabhava. Apratima prabhava. That must be the right. Apratima prabhava, correct. Pratimiyate yaya sa pratima. Na vidyate pratima yasya tasya prabhavasya sahatvam apratima prabhava. He apratima prabhava. Niratishaya prabhava. Matchless might. Ityartaha. Yata. Of this world of all beings, moving and unmoving, you are the father, the generator. Not only are you the father of this world, but also worthy of worship. Even in our, because in the Taittiriya Upanishad also and Veda, it says, Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava. You are also worthy of worship, for you are the preeminent teacher. In what way are you that? None is equal to you. Of course, it is impossible that there should be two gods. Empirical activities will become impossible in case there is more than one God. Correct? None else can be even equal to you, not to speak of anyone being greater in all the three worlds, O you of matchless might. An analog is what is similar. Your might has no analog. Apratima, there is no analog to you. Hence, you are of matchless might, of unsurpassed power. This is the import. Such being the case, 44, please.
तस्मात् प्रणम्य प्रणिधाय कायं प्रसादये त्वाम् अहमीशमीड्यं पितेव पुत्रस्य सुखेव सख्युः प्रियः प्रियायार्हसि देव सोढुम्.
Tasmat pranamya. Therefore, having prostrated, saluted, pranidhaya kayam, and keep my body very low, sashtanga pranam. Prasadaye, I crave your grace. Tvam aham isham idyam. O mighty Lord, worthy of adoration. This is devotional love. Right? He's not prostrating for any other reason. There is a situation where that prostration will come without thinking. It is inevitable. Nobody has to say, when normally when you're young, if you go to the village or something, "Dey, namaskaram bodra," go, do, right? Somebody, yes or no? Won't they say? Huh? You don't have to say. Nobody had to tell Arjuna, right? That is how it should be. That is from the heart, just outpouring of devotion, adoration, and love, right? So that is what is happening. Pita iva putrasya, just as the father bears with his son. Fathers bear a lot from sons. Son may say many harsh things, son may err in many ways, but the father forgives because of that filial affection. Sakheva sakyuhu, just as a good friend with a good friend. We forgive our good friends. Priyaha, priyaya, and a lover with the beloved. Arhasi deva sodhum. In the same way, you must bear with me. You must. Therefore, having saluted, keeping my body very low in the act of prostration, I crave your grace. Pranidhaya prakarshena nichaihi dritva kayam shariram prasadaye prasadam karye tvam aham isham ishitaram, O Lord, the one lordship who has lordship, idhyam stutyam, worthy of adoration. Tvam punaha putrasya aparadham pita yatha kshamate sarvam, just as the father forgives a son's transgressions. Sakha ivacha sakyuhu aparadham, as a comrade, a good friend, forgives a good friend's transgressions. Sometimes we may not call, or we may say something inappropriate, but a good friend will forgive. Okay, I know this person for a long time. They did not mean it. They did not intend it. Their heart is pure. Out of unknowingly, they said or did something, right? Out of ignorance. So that is why they say when you forgive, you become divine. Have you heard that? To forgive is divine, right? Because to put ourselves in the place, he is saying it's a lordly thing to forgive, because only the Lord understands the ignorance of the humans. We are limited in our understanding, and he understands that. So he forgives those transgressions. and a lover the beloveds. After all, true love can only be there if there is forgiveness. Otherwise, how can it be love, right? So, similar. Three beautiful analogies. 45.
अदृष्टपूर्वं हृषितोऽस्मि दृष्ट्वा भयेन च प्रव्यथितं मनो मे तदेव मे दर्शय देवरूपं प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवास.
Adrishta Purvam. What Adrishta is unseen. Purvam, before. Hrishitaha Asmi. Drishtva. So having seen what was unseen before, I am thrilled. But how? Bhayena. My mind is smitten with fear. Bhayena cha pravyathitam manomi. So having seen what was, so we are all desirous of experience of various sorts. So what Arjuna is saying is, I had not seen this before. Now I've seen it and my mind is scared. I'm smitten with fear. Tadeva me darshaya deva rupam. So please show me, reveal that familiar form, which is the lordly form, the gracious form. Prasida devesha jagannivasa. Please be pleased, devesha, O Lord of the gods, jagannivasa, and who is the abode of the worlds themselves. Adrishtapurvam iti. Adrishtapurvam na kadachidapi drishtapurvam idam vishwarupam. This Vishwarupam was not seen before. Your cosmic form has not seen by either by men or by others. Tava maya anyairva tat aham drishtva khrishiraha asmi. Bhayena cha parvetitam manahami. And I am also scared because fear smites my mind. Atah tadeva me mama darshaya he deva rupam yat mat sakham. Resume that familiar form you display as my friend. Prasida devesha. Oh, be gracious, God of gods. Jagannivasa. Jagato nivaso. Jagannivasa. He Jagannivasa. The abode of the worlds. 46, please.
किरीटिनं गदिनं चक्रहस्तम् इच्छामि त्वां द्रष्टुमहं तथैव तेनैव रूपेण चतुर्भुजेन सहस्रबाहो भव विश्वमूर्ते.
You see, this form is familiar to Arjuna. Look at his gracious state. For us to see this form also will be very beautiful. So, Arjuna is undoubtedly blessed, right? Kiritinam Gadinam, your form with the Kiritinam, the crown, the diadem. Gadinam, mace. Chakrahastam, discus in hand. Ichhami tvam drashtum. I desire to see you. Aham tathaiva. In the same way that I used to see before. Tenaiva rupena, through that form only. Chaturbhujena, with the four arms. Sahasrabaho, O thousand-armed being. Bhava Vishwamurti, with the cosmic form. So, please assume that form with the four arms. Right now, he is addressing him because he has Sahasrabahu and Vishwamurti. I pray to see you as before with the diadem, mace, and discus. Such being the case, O thousand-armed, withdrawing the cosmic form, resume your four-arm form as the son of Vasudeva. Upasamhritya Vishwarupam, Tenaiva Rupena, Bhava Ityarthaha. Arjunam Bhitam Upalabhya. Knowing that Arjuna is fear struck, Upasamhritya Vishwarupam, the blessed Lord withdrew his cosmic form. Priya Vachanena, with sweet, affectionate words, Ashvasayan, he reassured him. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, consolingly the Bhagavan spoke. What did Sri Bhagavan Uvacha? 47, please.
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Prasannena Tavarjunedam Rupam Param Darsitam Yogat Tejomayam Vishwamananta Madhyam Yanme Twadanyena Nadrishtapurvam.
Beautiful. Very nice. Maya Prasannena, through my own grace. Tava, to you, Arjuna, O Arjuna, idam rupam, this form, param, which is supreme, darshitam atma yogat, I showed you through my own yogic power. By the power of yoga, my yoga, O Arjuna, in a gracious mood, I have revealed to you the supreme form of mine. Tejomayam, what is the characteristic of the form? It is full of light, effulgent. Vishvam, it is cosmic. Anantam, infinite. Adhyam, primal. Yanme, tvad, anyena na drashtapurvam. That by me has been shown to you, which has not been seen by anybody before, which none but you ever beheld before. That is the cosmic consciousness. When the mind is purified and sees the Lord, it is by His grace. However much efforts are made till no more effort can be made. You must exhaust all the effort, and only then the divine grace descends and the Lord reveals His form. But most people, what happens is they stop with some efforts and then the form is not seen. Right? So effort is needed to the point where one's efforts have been wholly put forth. And at that point, craving the grace, then the Lord descends out of compassion. The Lord says, now, okay, I will show you. You have been very devoted to me in this form. So, and it is His power of yoga, right? By the power of my, that's why He is called Yogeshwara Krishna. Maya iti. Grace means the mood of benevolence towards you. Maya prasannena. Even when we say prasanna vadanam dhyayet for Ganesha, smiling form, when the Lord is pleased with you, then all the gifts and treasures are given. Right? So, the rest is pretty obvious. Cosmic, universal, infinite, endless. Primal, what was in the beginning? That was Adhyam. This form of mine, none other than you ever saw before. Atmanah mama rupa darshanena kritartah evatvam samvrita iti tat stauti. This is the point here. Now, you see, Bhagavan, that is why you need a great commentary. You have gained life's goal having seen this form of mine, universal self. People occasionally attend the Gita class and then call me later and say, what is the purpose of life? But the answer is there in the Gita only. Purpose of life is to know God. And when you know God, you will serve man in the way that God intended you to serve. That's all there is to it. The rest is all ignorance. How many lives are lived in ignorance? Therefore, having taken the birth, having been blessed with human birth, one must make sincere efforts to know God. That is the Purusharth. But it is easy to forget that because the power of the world is very great, the power of the senses is very great, the Lord's Maya is very great. But still, He has given us many, 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 many ways to approach Him. Easy ways. So, this is very important. This is where the commentary shines. You know, the verse shines. Obviously, the original text is fantastic. But when you have a great Bhashyam, like Sri Shankaracharya's Bhashyam, that is where it shines. At the key point, it hits the connection. So here he says, Atmanaha mama rupa darshanena kritarthaha evatvam samvrita. Kritarthaha. That is, the life's goal has been gained. Iti, tat stauti. That vision is now extolled. You have gained life's goal, having seen this form of mind, universal self. The vision is now extolled. So now Bhagavan is going to tell you. 48, please.
न वेदयज्ञाध्ययनैर्न दानैः न च क्रियाभिर्न तपोभिरुग्रैः एवं रूपशक्य अहं नृलोके द्रष्टुं त्वदन्येन कुरु प्रवीर.
This is the Loma Harshana type kind of verse. It will make your hair stand on end. So, na veda yajna adhyayanaihi. Veda, the Vedas. Adhyayana, studies. Veda yajna, sacrifices. Adhyayana, studies. All three instrumental case. Na danehi, not by charity. Na cha kriyabhihi, nor by works. Na tapobhihi, nor by severe austerities. Ugraihi tapobhi, ugra tapas. Can I? Evam rupaha, this form, shakya, possible. Aham nruloke, drashtum, is it possible to see me in this world of men? Tadanyena kuru pravira, that anyone other than you, O hero of the Kurus. By means of studying all the four Vedas and by the correct performance of sacrifices and by studies and the making of gifts of gold equal to the weight of the givers. This is explained, is said in the Shastras. Siddhatvat prithak yata adhyayana grahanam yajna vijnana upalakshanartham tathana danaihi tula purushadibihi. This was an injunction. They would put the weight and give the equal weight in gold, right? It's a great dan, right? Especially if the brahmana is very heavy, having consumed many enjoyable meals. So, nacha kriyabhihi agnihotradibihi srautadibihi. So these are two kinds, srauta smarta. Those enjoined by the Shruti and those enjoined by the Smriti, the Agnihotram, etc., which are done by in the home, and then other things like Agnishtoma, Somayagam, Ashwamedha Ati Agnishtomam, these done in a community. They are not, Shrauta Yajnas are not capable or not meant to be done by one person. They are done by a community. Neither of these. Or by means of severe penances like the Chandrayana. Chandrayana penance, is very interesting penance. You have to reduce your food every day by one mouthful till come to Amavasya and you're not eating anything. Then little by little, one mouthful you can increase till Purnima. So eating food with the waxing and waning of the moon. Severe austerity, right? Ghoraihi, severe austerities. We know from Amar Chitrakatha comics also, right? Standing on one leg with hands above in the cold, all these things. But even otherwise, people practice severe austerities of various kinds. I can't be seen in this cosmic form as you've seen in this world by men, by any other than you. The study of Vedas includes that of sacrifices. So, now 49, please.
Mate vyatha macha vimudha bhavo drishtva rupam gora midringa medam vyapeta viprita manaha punastvam tadeva me rupam midam prapasya.
Prapasya. Mate vyatha macha vimudha bhavo. Don't be fear-stricken. Don't be confused. Vimudha bhavo. Drishtva Rupam, seeing this form, Ghoram Idrigmamedam, this awesome form of mine which you had, Idrig Mama Idam, this awesome form, Ghoram Idrig Mama Idam, Rupam Ghoram Idrig Mama Idam, having seen this form of mine, Vyapeta Bhihi, having been rid of fear, Prita Manaha, glad of mind, heart, Punahatvam, once again, Tadeva me Rupamidam, now see my familiar form, behold again. Have no fear and confusion in mind on account of having seen my awesome form revealed to you. With fear gone and a glad in mind, behold again that four-armed form of mine which is dear to you, the form marked by the conch, the discus, and the mace. Now, therefore, when the mind is thoroughly clarified, when devotion is strong, that is why the yogic practices are recommended at that point. Constantly strengthening with Shraddha and Bhakti. Without that firm foundation, the experiences that are bestowed by severe yogic practices can disturb the mind greatly. How many people read the Bhagavad Gita carefully before they embark on these things nowadays? They don't. Then without reading, then they fall into all kinds of difficult situations and then give a bad name also to the yogic practices. So, definitely the yogic practices will lead to the desired goals. They are not lies, they are the truth. If practiced sincerely, they will, just like you, if you go to an elevator and you hit a button, elevator will take you to that floor or not. Correct? Similarly, the mantras are like that. The mantras have the power. Didn't Kunti find it out the hard way? Right? Yes or no? Durvasa taught her. She was not sure quite. She said, okay, let me try it. Boom. There, it is true. Mantras are that powerful. Mantra balam is there. It will do it. So, first one must have faith. Right? Because then suddenly, otherwise, if you press the elevator, oh, I didn't want to come with this. This floor is too scary for me. I don't want to get off here. What will you do then? So, but if one has read and one has Shraddha and Bhakti, if the mind is soaked in Shraddha, no problem. Whatever mantra you use, whatever floor it takes you to, there will be no problem. Right? There will be joy, there will be bliss. Fears, when they arise, will be recognized as for what they are. But the Lord's form, the Aksharam, the Pranava, these will guide you through any realm. The Pranava will always save. As long as the Pranava is foremost in the mind, or the Lord's face, in case of lower experiences, but Pranava will always lead one to the safely home. With the Pranava in mind, never will any harm come to any yogi. This is a fact, the truth. Okay. So then, Sanjaya Uvacha, meanwhile, Sanjaya says, what does Sanjaya say? 50.
Sanjay Uvacha Ityarjunam Vasudevasthathoktva Swakam Rupam Darshayamasa Bhuyah Asrasayamasa Sabhitamenam Bhutva Punaha Soumya Bapur Mahatma.
Ityarjunam, iti, in this way, Arjunam, to Arjuna, Vasudevaha, that great Vasudeva, Tatha Uktva, having said, Swakam Rupam, his own form, Darshayamasa, showed, Bhuyaha, and he assumed his own form and revealed it. Darshayamasa, very beautiful form of the verb, like Dharayamasa comes in Aditya Hridayam. Ashvasayamasa, he also reassured him, consoled him cha bhitam, this poor frightened fellow, enam bhutva punaha, having again Saumya. This Saumya is a beautiful Saumya, oh good looking one. He took on his good looking Vapuhu form. Mahatma, a great one, mighty being. Assuming his gentle form, Saumya Vapuhu, beautiful form. Mahatma, the mighty being, consoled Arjuna in his terror. Thus speaking to Arjuna, Vasudeva revealed that form of his with which he was born in Vasudeva's home. And he, the mighty being, consoled Arjuna in his terror, having once again assumed a gentle human form. Therefore, the Lord's form is very beautiful. The cosmic vision is very beautiful. It is very delightful indeed, but it can also generate fear insofar as fearful tendencies and latent fearful tendencies are there in the mind. Much desired, much sought after, much loved indeed, but also fraught, because the small mind, it is like, suppose you take a straw and you open a fire hydrant and you put the straw into the fire hydrant and try to drink from it. What will it be like? What will happen to the straw and the...
It'll blow up.
You will get pushed off, right?
Yeah.
The sheer force of the fire hydrant will throw the straw and the person who's trying to drink with a straw. This human body is like a straw. You see, it's very limited. It cannot conduct that kind of energy, that kind of power, normally, right? It can, when it is strengthened with Shraddha and Bhakti, then only it can take it, right? So, all along, efforts if they are made to cultivate that Shraddha and Bhakti, then no problem. Only joy and bliss and delight, right? Whatever small fears will be rapidly overcome, and Lord's beautiful form will be seen. This he guarantees. See, because, Saumya Vapuhu. Very nice. So then what does Arjuna say? Arjuna Vacha 51.
Arjuna Vacha Drishtvedam Manusham Rupam Tava Saumyam Janardana Idanim Asmi Samvrutta Sacheta Prakritim Gata.
Drishtva idam, having seen this Manusham Rupam, this human form, Tava Saumyam, and beautiful, gentle human form. Saumya, very beautiful. Janardana, oh Janardana, Idanim Asmi Samvrittaha Sachetaha Prakritim Gataha. I have been restored to my proper nature. I have regained my equanimity. Drishtva idamiti Manusham Rupam Matsakham Prasannam, my friend, O Janardana, Idanim Adhuna Asmi Samvrittaha Sanjataha. I have won back my equanimity. Kim Sachetaha Prasanna Chittaha Prakritim Swabhavam Gataha Cha Asmi. And I have won back my normal nature. So that is nice. 52, please. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Sudurdarshamidam Rupam Drishtavanasi Yanmama Deva Apyasya Rupasya Nityam Darshana Kankshanaha.
Very beautiful. Yes. Sudurdarshamidam. Durdarsham is hard to see. Sudurdarsham, it is a good thing, but it is hard to see. Extremely hard to behold. Rupam. Drishtavan asi yanmama, that you have seen. Mine. Deva api asya, all the devas, the gods. Api asya rupasya, for this form, nityam, constantly, darshana, to see, kankshinaha, they are eagerly craving. That form of mine, extremely hard to behold, which you have seen, that form even the gods perpetually crave to see. Though desirous, they have not, unlike you, seen it, nor will they see it. This is the idea. Why? Now, 53, please.
नाहं वेदेन तपसा नादानेन न चेज्जया शक्य एवं विदो द्रष्टुं दृष्टवानसि मां यथा.
Right. Na aham vedaihi, not by the Vedas, instrumentally, na tapasa, nor by penance, nor by gifts, danena, na cha ijyaya, or sacrifice. Right? Ijyaya, yajnena pujaya va is translated. Ijyaya, yajnena, either through sacrifice or puja. Shakya, possible. Evam vidho drashtum. In this way, may I be seen in this way. Drishtavan asi mam yatha, just as you have seen me. Right? Not by the four Vedas, Rig, Yajus, Sama, Atharva, or by hard penance, Chandrayana, etc., nor by the gift of cows, land, gold, and the like, nor by sacrifice, sacrificial worship, may I be seen thus in the way you have seen me revealed. Katham punaha shakyaha iti uchyate. How then is it possible? 54, please.
भक्त्यात्मनन्वयासक्य अहमेवं विदोऽर्जुन ज्ञातुं द्रष्टुं च तत्त्वेन प्रवेष्टुं च परन्तप.
Very nice. Thank you. Beautiful. So, this is the thing that Bhagavan is finally saying. So, of course, one must not misconstrue that as a consequence, the Vedas are useless, the Dhanam is useless, the Tapa is useless. No, not. That is not the import. Right? The person of faith engages in all those as appropriate. The Vedas do lead to the truth. What Bhagavan is saying is, the Vedas are like an exit sign. You can't go and, if you want to leave the theater, do you go and cling to the exit sign? It is the exit. Yes, but holding the sign won't take you outside. But does it mean the exit is unimportant? Of course, somebody has to put the sign, otherwise how will you go out? Right? That's the point. The exit is very important. If nobody puts the sign exit, nobody will know how to leave the theater. So the exit sign is very important. But Bhagavan is saying, if you go and cling to the exit sign and say, exit, exit, leave me, take me out of here, it will not take you out of here. You must walk out of the exit. Right? That is so obvious, correct? So, what is that walking out of the exit? He says, bhaktya to ananyaya, by undivided devotion. What does the yogi do? What is bhakti? Swaswarupa anusandhanam. The desire to know one's true self is bhakti. First we worship the pratima. First of all, we go to the temple. Somebody says, oh, there is a very beautiful murti. Let us go and have darshan. You go and have darshan. The place is very crowded. People step on your feet, stamp on your head. Nobody lets you sit in front of the thing. Then you think, oh, why am I trying so hard to have the darshan of the small thing? It's very beautiful, undoubtedly. Many great sages have worshipped here. Undoubtedly, it's a tirtha sthan. But perhaps I can have this in my own house. I can make also. When I'm not able to go there, I can do puja every day. You do puja. There is a pratima there. There are so many beautiful pratimas here. They're also wonderful and nice. Then, is that alone? No. Then you say, maybe this Lord is only inside me. Then you sit in meditation. After many, many, many births, the wisdom dawns that one must look for the Lord within. Swaswarupa, your true self. Not the mind, not the senses, not the body, not the buddhi, not the ahankara, not the chitta. Neti, 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 what is that beyond? That is bhakti. Bhakti and yoga are not different. Ananya bhakti, one-pointed. What is that one-pointed? Dharana dhyana samadhi. The antaranga of the yoga, Ashtanga yoga. What else is it? Same thing. So, undivided devotion, bhaktya to ananyaya shakyaha, it is possible. He, aham eva, evam vidho Arjuna. Okay, can I be seen in this form? Evam vidho Arjuna, in this form. Gyatum, I can be seen. Known. Gyatum, known. I can be known. Drashtum, seen. Cha tatvena praveshtum, and entered. This is samadhi. Because samadhi is becoming one with that. What is the state of samadhi? The knower, the object of knowledge, and the act of knowing merge into one. Yes or no? The knower, the object of knowledge, and the act of knowing merge into one. This is samadhi. That is the definition of samadhi. In the state of samadhi, there is no distinction between the knower and the known and the act of knowing. So, jnatum, I can be known, I can be seen, and I can be entered. What is that entry? That is that. The dissolution into the Lord Himself. Praveshtum cha parantapa. O scourge of foes. For why? Because that is my nature. By devotion of what kind? Undivided. Bhaktyatu kim vishishtaya iti aha ananyaya apritag bhutaya. Not directed to anything else than the Lord at any time. When by all, so you see, at that point, the person will seem a little mad to the normal people, because who will spend their time continuously on something like this, right? Huh? Yes, mad to the world, but wise somewhere else. That's the nature of the Lord. Not directed to aught else than the Lord at any time. When by all means of cognition nothing but Vasudeva is known, there results undivided devotion. By that means, I may be known according to the Shastras in this manner, as endowed with the cosmic form. Ananya bhakti bhaktya aham evam vidah vishwarupa prakara he Arjuna. Gyatum shastratah, na kevalam gyatum shastratah. Not only may I be known according to the Shastras, but also seen truthfully. Drashtum cha sakshat kartum tatvena tatvataha, and entered, be liberated. O scourge of foes, cha moksham cha gantum parantapa. Aduna sarvasya Gita Shastrasya sarabhutah arthah nishreya sartah anushtheyatvena samutchitya uchyate. Now is stated the essential import of the entire science of the Gita, aimed at liberation and summarized for practice. 55, please.
मत्कर्म कृन्मत्परमो मद्भक्त संगवर्जितः निर्वैर सर्वभूतेषु यस्य मामेति पांडव.
Very beautiful. Mat karma krit, mat paramo, mat bhaktah, sangavarjitah. Nirvairah sarvabhuteshu yah samameti pandava. So, who will come to me? The answer to the question. Who will come to me? Yah, he who. Mat karma krit, who does my works. Paramo mat bhaktaha. Mat karma krit, mat paramo, mat bhaktaha. Makes me his supreme goal. Becomes my devotee. Mat bhaktaha. Sanga varjitaha, is devoid of all attachments. Nirvairaha, is free from any malice or bad feeling towards beings. Sarvabhuteshu, towards all beings. Samameti, he only comes to me. He will come to me, O Pandava Prince. So, what is the Lord's work? This is the eternal difficult question, correct? This is what we call dharma, right? But what is dharma? Very difficult to, in every personal situation, to sometimes tease out, correct? So, but that indeed is what the Lord is saying. Whoso does my works, say, make me, in the Christian, you say, make me an instrument of thy will. How do we know the will of the Lord? This is the, in some sense, the essence of our spiritual practice is to know the will of the Lord. Of course, knowing his will, knowing his works. Example, right now what we are doing, reading his word. Reading his word is his will, right? This is an important part of that, is knowing his works. Mat karma krit, Madartham karma mat karma. That is, work for my sake is my work. Whoso performs it. A servant does his master's work but does not reach him as his supreme goal to be attained after death. Bhrityah karoti swami karma natu atmanah paramapreetya gantavya gati iti. Swaminam pratipadyate. Here, not only he does my work, but he also comes to me as his supreme goal, for I am his supreme goal. Similarly, he is my devotee, as he worships me in all possible ways, with all his heart, with total enthusiasm. Utsahat, sahasat, dhairyat, tattvajnanat. Remember that? These are the 6 qualities of the yogi. Utsahat, sahasat, dhairyat, tattvajnanat, janasanga parityagat. Nishchayat. Utsahat, sahasat, dhairyat, nishchayat, janasanga parityagat. Tattvajnanat, Nischayat, Janasanga Parityagat. These are the 6 qualities. Utsaham is the first one. So, one must have enthusiasm for the Lord's worship. Sangavarjitaha, Dhana Putra Mitra Kalatra Bandhu Garveshu, Bandhu Vargeshu. This is important. Again, he says, free from attachment to wealth, progeny, friends, wife, and relations. But this does not mean that one is not nice to the progeny or to the friends, right? Non-attachment doesn't mean not loving. Loving, truly loving, right? Attachment is due to pleasure or affection, he is devoid of it. Free from malice towards all beings, free from feelings of enmity, even towards those who have wronged one most. So, he who answers to this description comes to me, I being his supreme goal. He has no other goal. This is my counsel for you, O Arjuna. Ayam tava upadeshaha ishtaha maya upadishtaha he pandavaiti. What a beautiful closure to the Iti Sri Mahabharati Shatasahasryam Samhitayam Vayasikhyam Bhishma Parvani Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Sambade Vishwarupa Darshanam Nama Ekadasho Adhyayah Iti Srimad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Acharya Govinda Bhagavat Pujya Pada Shishya Srimad Shankara Bhagavataha Kritau Srimad Bhagavad Gita Bhashye Vishwarupa Darshanam Yogo Nama Ekadasho Adhyaya. How thrilling, very beautiful, right? So Bhagavan explains in both ways. So he gives both options. Bhakti can be in the internal sadhana, but also in the external world as bhakti. Right? Very simple solution the last verse gives. Whoso does my works, makes me his supreme goal, becomes my devotee, rid of all attachments, is free from malice, will come to me. So, of course, a simple but not easy recipe to follow, because the mind does create some obstacles, right? Attachment is not easy to be sangavarjitaha or nirvairaha towards all beings, etc. So, nevertheless, this is the Lord's word. So, any questions or comments?
This is so easily said than done. So, when we sit in meditation, I mean, if you ask me, right, the challenge is always, let go, right? Letting go and be still, right? So as Swamiji says, be still.
Right.
That's the goal, right? Be still with all the Shraddha, and then our true nature comes, right? Because it's being masked, and that masking, that veil, that ignorance every single time when when you remind keep pressing it, yeah, that's true. And after a while the recharge, the battery goes down.
Yes, you're right. And it's an honest reflection. Thank you. Indeed. So, like you said, it's easy to say in a verse. It's a lifetime or lifetimes of practice, actually. Correct? It's a life's work. That's why in the end he says, right? Kritartham. This is you have attained the goal of your life, right? So, in a way, preparing for this is not like preparing for a sprint. It's a marathon, and it's a daily activity. Every day we start, and we try to keep that constant awareness. Correct. At the end of the day, you see, okay, how did the mind fare, right? How well did I? But the power is that by repetition, the mind is neuroplastic, the brain is neuroplastic. The more you direct it to one direction, those neurons, when they fire together, they will wire together, and the mind becomes purer and purer with practice. There is no doubt about this, right? And that's why the Yoga Sutra says, Tatra sthitau yatna abhyasa. To, to rest in that state. Every time you rest, you are doing something very good to your brain. You are doing something very good to your mind, even though at that instant, you're right. It does not seem like there is progress, right? Progress is non-linear. Even in research, we know progress is not linear. The student doesn't come and learn 20% in every year, and then at the end of 5 years they get the PhD, which hopefully they get. It's not like 20% in the first year, 40%, 60, 80. No, of course not, right? Sometimes student himself feels like an idiot till the preliminary exam. Even after the preliminary exam feels like an idiot. Then suddenly, how come? Something happens, right? So this is to keep in mind, right? Our progress is not linear, but we strengthen ourselves daily, every day. This is a daily activity. We get up in the morning, we can read one, even this verse can be read once, and then say, okay. And when you go evening meditation or before going to bed, a small reflection. How was the day? And when this is done, it has a tremendous effect, a very, very powerful effect. And the benefits are very difficult to describe. How much benefit in every aspect of life: physical health, mental health, emotional health, relations, success in your career, success with family relations. In all aspects, it provides a tremendous boost and happiness. So it's a fantastic formula tonic. It's not just in one area that you will see benefit. You will see benefit in every aspect of the human life. So that is the power of the beauty of the Gita, the power of the Gita. Reading it, it makes the mind calm and peaceful, and it makes you aligned to satisfy the true purpose for which we were born. Any other comments or questions?
Thank you.
So Dr.
So,
Sandra,
yes.
I was thinking, like, since Arjuna already has the vision
Mhm.
and he has already, realized the truth or self-realization,
Mhm.
I was wondering, what the remaining 7 chapters are about. But I
Beautiful
think you,
question.
but I
Very
think you
good.
later on mentioned that just knowing is not enough. Being established is also necessary.
You
But then,
remember that now. Very good. Yes, of course. The experience is only the beginning. I'm sorry to break the news, but experience is the beginning of the cleansing, right? So after the experience, the cleansing begins, right? So definitely, you're very right. Indeed, um, his success is assured, but he still has to listen to 7 more chapters because so much karma, right? He has gone and said all kinds of things to him, laughed at him, etc. Right? But very good question. You see what I'm saying?
right.
Yeah. Yeah. The experience is, the main purpose of the experience is to deepen one's faith. After that, the faith will become unshakable. Right? And one with unshakable faith, success is assured. Experience by itself, at some level, can be thought of nothing. Those with faith, greater faith, who don't have experience are to be respected even more. Think how great is their faith, that even without experience, they are having faith. Right? That's even more wonderful. Right? Ultimately, what that explains, it gives great, of course, a corollary of that experience is also, there is something called Dharma Mega Samadhi. In Dharma Mega Samadhi, there is instant download of all the wisdom in all the scriptures at involuntarily. Those are granted by grace, right? But if with all that wisdom still, the remainder of the karmas have to be exhausted in a dharmic way, right? That's why they say, even after all that, the joyous journey has begun, right? I don't know if that helped.
Yes, it did, Dr. Sankar. Thank you.
Wonderful. Acha, any other, or shall we say Shanti Mantram, or any other comments or questions?
In this verse, the so mat karma krit.
Ah,
I mean, I still don't understand what it means.
yes, it is difficult to and to part of the practice is learning to understand what is the Lord's work, right? So I'll give you an analogy with your advisor that might help you. So my general feeling is, and probably Pawan will relate to this also. When your student first comes to you, you tell them do X. Okay. It takes them about 4 years to find out what X is, and then they do it in 1 year. Is it right, Pawan?
Yep, definitely. It's half the time trying to figure out the problem. What problem is the one?
So it's not that. So half the time goes in figuring out. So very often I tell them, don't go and do what I told you to do. Tell me what you think I have told you to do. Okay. So when that person writes what I've told them to do, you will see that there's a big difference from what I said in the first place. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Then finally, when they figure out and we really understand what has been done, it's done. It doesn't take that long. Right? So now, if we want to find out what God wants us to do, right, we should listen to God. Right? First, we have to very carefully listen to His words. Right? And that's what you're doing, right? Right now. We have read 11 chapters. You've read it once. For a normal mortal advisor, it takes 4 years to learn what this guy is saying means. In a practical thing, how long do you think it may take? It may take some time, right? Don't you think? Yeah. But his words are sweet. His words are divine. So unlike advisor who may say some harsh things every now and then, idiot, fool, what did you do? Nowadays you can't say that, but I'm just saying, he may say, what did you do? There may be some. Lord is very sweet. He's always saying nicely only, right? In a most joyous, sweet way. So we can keep listening and reading, right? Slowly, slowly, then we understand what is the intent of the Lord. So, understanding His words by reading, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana is the way. Right? So far, have you enjoyed reading?
Yeah, a lot.
Wonderful. Then we will contemplate. That's all. Very nice, jolly satsang as always. So nice to see you all. I will say Shanti Mantram now. We are having, I think, Mahashivratri coming up on Thursday. That will be very joyous, delightful. And I will try to send you some, I don't know if I sent you the Rudram chanting by Chalakere brothers. Had I sent once? If we can share it with our Gita group and full satsang group, if it has not been shared, that will be very nice. That is very nice to listen to. In case you're not able to have access to go and listen somewhere, It'll be very beautiful on Thursday. Acha. Om Tacham Yora Vrinimahe Gatum Yajnaya Gatum Yajnapataye Daivihi Swastirastunaham Swastirmanushabhyah Urdhvam Jigatu Bheshajam Shanno Astu Dvipadehe Sham Chatushpade Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste everyone.
Namaste, namaste.
Namaste uncle. Very nice to see you. Very good to see you.
Yeah.